Hi, welcome to the Unerring Build Guide. Here, all the 3D printed parts and hardware components you'll need. You can refer to this page for the component names and their relative positions. Here, the parts that require inserts installed: the front outer rail, the rear inner rail, the pivot posts, the controller housings. Two types of inserts, M4 and M3. Here's where the insert goes for the controller mount housing. Here, for the pivot post. Here for the inner rear rail, and here for the inner front rail. The design helps hold each insert in place. Make sure every insert sits perfectly flush. It should look like this, and finally like this for the front rail. Now, let's assemble the front rail. Start by sliding the inner piece into the outer section. Next, insert the smaller spring into the lock component, and place both at the front of the rail. Use the M 2x16 screw to secure the lock in place. Don't tighten it all the way. The lock should move freely. Then, use the M 2x8 screw to stop the inner piece from sliding out. Test the motion. It should slide smoothly without resistance. Now let's move on to the center rail. Join the inner and outer pieces together. Then, add the spring, lock, and screw to complete the mechanism. Again, keep the screw slightly loose so the lock moves freely. Next, assemble the rear rail by following the same steps. Modularity was one of the main design goals for Unerring. I spent a lot of time refining and iterating the rails for strength, accuracy, and smooth tolerance. If the inner part doesn't slide smoothly, use a deburring tool to gently remove material here and here. Don't forget to install the M 2x8 screw to prevent the inner rail from sliding out. Now, let's attach the cheek rest using the M 3x20 screws. There you have it, the front, center, and rear rails assembled. Let's move on to the pivot posts. Insert the M 6x50 screw into the 9x35 spring, and then into the pivot post. Repeat the process for the other post. Next, insert the barrel nut into the clamp. Align the hole in the barrel nut with the screw. Tighten the screw carefully until it is snug, but not fully tightened. When released, the post should rotate freely with enough tension to hold its position and lock firmly when the clamp is closed. Repeat for the other post. Test the motion to ensure everything operates smoothly. Now, connect the center rail to the front rail using the same process. Tighten the screw firmly, but not completely. The rail should move freely, hold its position, and lock securely when the clamp closes. For the center and rear rail assembly, insert the M6 nut here. Then, use the M 6x45 screw with the 8x25 spring to complete the mechanism. If you prefer the rear rail fixed in place, tighten it all the way. Finally, use the M 2x8 screw to stop the inner rail from sliding out. You can also leave the rear rail slightly loose if you want to adjust it on the fly. Now, let's move on to the controller mount housing. Put the steel insert into the housing. Then, use the M 4x10 screw to fix it in place. Make sure it sits flush. Next, insert the magnet into the controller lock guard. Install the M 4x16 screw, but don't tighten it fully yet. Repeat this for both right and left sides. Now, place the guard on top of the pivot post, making sure it's properly aligned. Tighten until it's firm and locked, but avoid over-tightening. Repeat for the front side as well. I like to rotate the guard inward 1 or 2 steps for a more comfortable grip. Test the housing and guard fit. Perfect. Let's add the sling attachments. Insert the M 4x10 screw into the mount post, threading it just enough to hold in place. Then, place it into the front rail and tighten fully. The sling attachments go here and here. Add a small amount of lubricant to the clamps for smoother operation. That's buttery smooth. Finally, fine-tune the clamp tension by hand for the perfect balance. It should feel firm when locked, but still allow movement when open. It's been an incredibly fun journey designing such a complex piece, a process full of learning and iteration. And that's it, your own unerring build. Have fun.